Well, here we are again. Time for another Damon Fowler update. Well, so far we've seen everything play out pretty much exactly as predicted. The school went ahead with its prayer. The ACLU wrote us a firmly worded letter to the district complaining about it. And finally, I'm starting to get some comments on the original video. Now, most of the comments have been fairly supportive. There have been two dissenting voices, which, that's fine. That's the whole point of a discussion like this. But what I've noticed is the standard Christian response to criticism remains as strong as ever. We can try to explain to these people until we're blue in the face what the First Amendment really means, but it won't matter. These guys just aren't listening. Just plainly, they don't want to hear it. If you're going to tell them the First Amendment also applies to atheists, well, no, I don't want to hear that. But the minute you point out that they shouldn't be praying, they'll scream and roar for their First Amendment rights to freely practice religion. What's ironic to me is it's not even just the same amendment, it's the same sentence of the First Amendment that they're hiding behind while simultaneously trying to deny atheists the same protections under that very same sentence. And this is the typical Christian response. La la la, I'm not listening, I can't hear you. One person said majority rules. And that's the end of it. I don't think that person really did very well in civics class. The whole point of the American government, the way it's designed, or originally was designed, was to protect minorities from tyranny of the majority. This goes back to the classic argument that your parents may have thrown at you when you were a kid, when you tried the logical fallacy of appealing to popularity. My friend X is doing this, why can't I? And your parents probably said, well, if he was jumping off a bridge, would you jump too? It's an irritating statement, but there's truth in it. The equivalent here is the majority of people in this school system, the Christians, are cheerfully jumping off the bridge knowing God will save them, even though anyone with a brain is looking down and realizing certain death awaits anyone that jumps. But the better analogy here is that they're forcing non-believers to jump with them. That's exactly what they're trying. And until lawsuits settle these issues, they're getting away with it. The majority can be wrong, and the majority often is wrong. It used to be a majority belief that the earth was flat. But it's just stunning that people still believe it, some do, but now the majority thinks the world is round. Back then, when the world was flat, people were actually punished, put in prison, killed for suggesting the earth was round. The majority wasn't right. It wasn't right to kill those people. It wasn't right to persecute them. And their error resulted in death and suffering. In this case, there wasn't much suffering. Atheists can sit through religious prayer and just roll their eyes. I can walk into a Bible superstore and not burst into flames. I will point and laugh at a lot of the material I see there. I won't buy anything because it's all supporting a cause that I don't agree with. But by and large, atheists are immune to Christian badgering and prayer. The reason we bother trying to argue with people about this is to get them to understand that they're trampling on other people's rights. Your First Amendment right to practice your religion extends just far enough to let you do what you want, as long as it's not hurting other people. And when you force a public school or manipulate a public school into permitting or accepting prayer, you are hurting everyone who isn't a member of that faith. I've still yet to see or hear any answer to my question, what if a Muslim had wanted to pray at that graduation? What would happen then? Would all these people that are clamoring for the right to pray in public schools suddenly change their minds? Oh, no, you can't have a Muslim prayer. Only Christians can pray. Or would they actually uphold that right that they're claiming to really believe in and let the Islamist offer a prayer to Allah? What if an atheist wanted to pray? Not necessarily pray, so to speak, but to make a religious statement, which is what Christian prayer and Muslim prayer are. Would the atheist be silenced? Well, we have our answer from this Louisiana town. The small-minded idiots that live there really do believe in censoring anybody that doesn't believe in their favorite sky wizard. The problem is they want their cake and they want to eat it too. They want to be able to pray, but they don't want anyone else to be able to pray, and they want everyone to have to listen to them pray. They scream persecution any time somebody points out that that's unlawful, it's not morally right, and it's selfish. And they hide behind the very same laws that they're breaking. That's the part that always gets me. I assume the people that commented on the other video are not going to bother watching this one. But just in case they are, you're both wrong. Truly. And I get the feeling that explaining things to either of you won't help, because you just aren't listening. You don't want to hear it. You have your faith. You're going to practice it wherever you can, as much as you can, and you're hell-bent on forcing it down as many throats as possible. The bad news for you is that you are eventually going to become a minority. Already, atheists are revealing themselves in more and more places, and doing so more and more comfortably. We're not ashamed of our beliefs and our ethical and moral systems. We're proud of our ability to think. Somebody said they would pray for me. I told them I would think for them, since they're not doing much of it themselves. And that's really what this is about. They don't want to think. They want to go through rote memorization. They want to go through their rituals. And they want to force everyone to participate. And when something as inconvenient as a law invented by man gets in the way, who cares? They've got God's law on their side. So why worry about this other crap? Well, you're about to find out. The ACLU has done its usual thing, the very first overture for lawsuit, sending a nasty letter, a polite one, but still nasty, to the school district in question. Now, they called on the district to announce a policy that actively bars this kind of prayer from happening again. It's very unlikely that this district is going to actually follow through and say, I agree with that. So the next step will be the ACLU's filing a lawsuit. That's just how this stuff works. By sending that letter and having the district ignore it, the ACLU has a stronger case. In the meantime, Damon Fowler's scholarship has grown to some $30,000 thanks to the donations of many atheists around the world. And that just fills me with pride. The claim that atheists are bad people or they're evil people, they don't do any good in the world. Well, that's bullshit. And the proof is in the fact that we take care of our own. So remember this, Christians. We are not going to be silenced. Just like you insist that you can't be silenced, neither can we. Logic and reason are going to win over time. And there's nothing that your faith can do to stop it. I've got some more to babble about, so there'll be another video here in a few minutes. But for now, just wanted to update people on my thoughts on this whole Damon Fowler thing. Once again, good job, Damon. Thank you for standing up for your freedoms, for your liberty and your civil rights. We're all really proud of you, and we're rooting for the ACLU to actually get something done about this, so that this Louisiana small town can learn a new lesson in civics. So, until my next video, thanks for watching, everybody, and I will get to work on the next one and post that here shortly. Take care.